Launching a new website can feel slow at the start. However, let me show you my exact launch plan that I use to take websites from absolutely nowhere to be seen to position #1 on Google in a very short period of time. And everything that I show you in this video, you can replicate for your website as well. Also, if you haven't already, check out mySEO.app. The link will be in the description. We have courses in there. We have weekly live streams. We've got a community section. So if you are ever struggling when it comes to SEO related questions, you can always ask the community in there as well. I'm also very active in the community as well, so you can ask me as well. So step #1 is demonstrating to Google where it should actually place us within the knowledge graph. Now, if you don't know what the knowledge graph is, the knowledge graph is basically a big database of facts about people, places, brands, and topics as well. Now, basically what the knowledge graph does is it connects all of those facts together so Google understands who you are, what you do, and how you relate to your niche. So for example here, Kasra, Google is smart enough to associate me with other SEOs like Matt Diggity, Neil Patel, Rand Fishkin, James Dooley. If we were to look at a brand like Adidas, for example, you'll be able to see that it associates it with Nike, New Balance, Puma, and Vans. Now, think of the knowledge graph as almost like a huge library, and we want to basically tell Google which category or which section in the library that it should place us. If we are a carpenter, it's probably going to be a very different section of the library than Kasra the SEO or Adidas or Nike the brand. This now leads us to our homepage. Now, the homepage of our website is crucial as it defines 3 different things for us. It defines who we are, what we do, and also who we serve as well. So, for example, there's a variety of different ways to actually demonstrate who we are. So, for example, we could mention our brand. We could mention our address in the actual footer. As you can see, these guys, they've got 2 different offices. We can have like an about page as well. These things all help when it comes to Google understanding who we are, how many years we've been in service. There's some companies that mention they've been in service for 15, 20, 30 years. These are all things that we would want to mention on our homepage, as well as obviously our about page if we actually decided to create one of those as well. The next thing what we want to do as well is we want to mention who we actually serve. So for example, we serve small businesses, we serve legal accountants, for example. We're experts in hotels, restaurants, and CIS or charities. You want to be mentioning who you actually serve. And then the last but very not least thing we want to mention is the services that we actually provide. Now, there's a variety of different ways that we can obviously do this. We can have it all as links on our homepage going to actual dedicated pages. This is how I would set it up. So I would have maybe 10, 15, 20 different services all linking from my homepage to dedicated service pages. This way, Google clearly knows exactly who we are, where we're based, who we serve, and also what services we actually offer as well. Here's some bullet points of pages that I would be looking to set up, right? So obviously the homepage, everyone has a homepage, and I've just defined what you should actually be having on that homepage. In a lot of cases, people make their homepage to be like really pretty and stuff like that. From an SEO point of view, you want to make certain you are clearly defining who you are. So then we have got these are sometimes optional, but you want to have like an about page, but then you could also have like a story or an experience or credentials on those. Now, again, a lot of my websites that I deal with or I work on, I do have an about page. These things are obviously optional. So in some cases you might have a story. In other cases you might mention that you've got 15, 20, 30 years experience. In other cases, you might say that you've got certain credentials. Like for example, if you are an accountant, you might say that you're a CPA accountant if you're in America, or you might say you're a chartered accountant if you are in the UK. These are all trust factors when it comes to people just searching you up, figuring out who you are, what you do. If you do have those credentials, it's worthwhile mentioning those. We then want to have a contact page, which is, again, pretty crucial when it comes to like local SEO websites or local businesses, because if people can't contact you or if people can't contact you, then you're probably not going to get the lead. And then last but very not least, we have got some legal/trust pages. So having a privacy policy can definitely help. Having a terms can definitely help. Cookies, refund if you're like more of an e-commerce website, refund or guarantee. And then if you are in EU, GDPR if relevant. Now, if some websites will also have like a meet the team page. So we've got like a Why Perry's page or an About Us. We also have testimonials, charity. So you can have other pages like that. But the list on the notepad that I was showing you guys before, that is basically like the absolute bare bones, the bare minimums. Next, what we would want to set up are service pages or location pages. Now, as we can see on Perry's Accountants, we've got a lot of different service pages. So we've got, for example, statutory accounts, business plans, we've got corporation tax. And these are all written as actual landing pages. I still see some websites that just have a /services page and they've got all of their services listed under the one page. Now, the issue with that is what you want to try and do is rank all of these pages individually within Google. If you've just got a /services and you've got, let's say, 10, 15, 20 different services under the one page, Google's going to end up struggling and just not ranking that service page at all. If we take a look, as you can see, we've got a dedicated corporation tax returns page. We've got a dedicated VAT return accounts page. We have got a dedicated self-assessment accountants for tax returns page. And then we've also got trust accountants. Now, there are a variety of different service pages. Obviously, from one website to another, it will differ. But if you are struggling on where to start or which services to actually include, I always just recommend looking at your competitors, right? So if we were to take a look at, for example, let's search for dentists in Miami, right? If we just click on the first result, we'll obviously ignore the sponsored results and we'll go to the first organic SEO result. You can obviously see their services here. And as you can see, they've got like a dedicated Botox page. They have got a dedicated dental implants page. They've got a dedicated dental emergency page, and so on and so forth. So these would be the service pages that I would look to include on my website. Now, in some cases, some dentists might not have Botox or they might not do dental implants. You only want to actually add the pages or the services to your own website that you actually offer as a business. Also, if you are struggling on how to write SEO optimized content, I'll leave the link to this sheet down below. You can download it. It will send like an email to you. Once you get it, click on file and then make a copy for yourself. But we've got like 8 different actual writing prompts. So if you were going to write an article to do with dental veneers, you could use one of these prompts and it will basically write an SEO optimized article for you. Or alternatively, you can use like a paid tool like phrase.io or Surfer SEO, for example, and they'll be able to write the article for you as well. We then also want to create location pages as well. So as we can see here, these guys, they try to rank for London accountants and tax advisors. And if we scroll down to the bottom of the page here, in the footer, they're going after a variety of different towns as well. So historic Dockyard, Chatham, I believe. Then they've got Sevenoaks, then they've got Westmoreland. These are all dedicated location pages. Now, there's a variety of different ways that you can build these out. You can either have dedicated offices in these areas, like what these guys have done, or it could be areas that you actually serve as a business. So in some cases, companies have actual dedicated offices like these guys, or in other cases they actually have they have areas that they actually cover. So for example, if you are a plumber in Manchester, you might decide to do a 15-mile radius of every single town and city within a 15-mile circle of your actual office. And again, if you're going to be writing these articles out manually, you can either use the cheat sheet here, or you can use like a tool like Surfer SEO or Phrase. So once you have got your service pages built out and you've also got some location pages built out, the next step is one that I don't see as often anymore, but you want to make sure that your pages actually do have like SEO friendly URL structures. Now, I used to see a lot more like dates being involved, so it might have been like, for example, the year or the date stamp of when it actually got uploaded, like 02 03 2025. I used to see stuff like this. If you are experiencing that, just go into WordPress, go to permalinks, and then just either make certain that it's set to post name, or you can have like a custom structure like mine. I usually have either post name or a custom structure. I mean, there's not really a right or wrong. By default, WordPress sets it to plain, so just make certain that as a bare minimum it's not set to plain day and name or month or numeric. I would just have it as post name. Then what you want to do is make certain that you actually have got your services within your nav bar. That's the absolute bare minimum. You want to make certain that it's at least one click away from the homepage, your actual main services. Same goes with your locations. Now you can do something smart like what these guys have done and actually have your location pages within your footer. Next, you're probably going to want to use like an SEO tool like a Rank Math or a Yoast. I personally use Rank Math at the minute because it's just a lot more smoother and it just works a lot better with my actual team as well. So you can use Rank Math or Yoast, or I believe there's all-in-one SEO as well. There's not really a right or wrong for any of these. You then want to use or go to robots.txt, grab your sitemap and then submit this into Google Search Console. If you've never done it before, this is basically what it looks like. So you could just go into your actual website up here. This is Google Search Console. Then click on sitemap and then you just grab this URL and then obviously just paste it in there and click submit. Now, the next step is getting some foundational links. Now, this isn't true like link building or outreach. This is literally just getting your website listed in some directories, because if you are seen alongside your competitors on external sources such as Yelp or or just directory websites in general, that again helps with the knowledge graph of Google understanding who you are. So for example, if Kasra accountants was actually listed within this list, this is a list of accountants in London, then Google's going to come read this page and understand that my accountancy firm is based in London and this is the services that I actually offer as well. Now there's a variety of different ways that you can actually find more accountant or more directories. One of the ways is obviously by Googling one of your competitors. So for example, I've just Googled Perry's Accountants. I've clicked on the three dots. So if I just X that down, click on the three dots, and as you can see where it says about the source, you can click on more about this page and it's going to give you a list of all of the directories that they actually have. So for example, they were listed on Yelp. They are listed on Zero. So this is their local page or business listing on Yelp. Here is their business listing on Zero. So as we can see here, they're listed here. So this could be another directory that we could actually get listed on. And you can even click on show more and you can find more actual listings from this accountancy firm. So again, this is another one. I think this is like a consultancy based site that we can get listed on. So that's obviously one way, but what we can also do as well is obviously these guys, they rank high for London accountants. So we can actually search for London business directory and we can get a list of these business style directories that we can get our business listed on as well. Or you can even swap it out for a niche as well. So for example, we could do accountancy business directory. And if we take a look here, so as you can see, we've got an accountancy directory here that we can get listed on. There are several different accountancy directories. So we've got local accountants UK that we can get listed on and many more. The alternative / paid way of actually seeing these directories is you can just search your main keyword. So accountants, we'll do accountants, London, and we will take a look at our position number 1 competitor. So we're going to click to link intersect. I've just thrown in a dummy website just for the purpose of this video. We'll take a look at position number 2. And we'll take a look at position number, so when I'm looking at competitors, I don't like to look at directories. So again, this is another directory that we can get listed on, but I wouldn't compare my website to those. I would compare my website to actual other businesses. So again, position number 3, you can also add in more competitors, but we're going to click on show link opportunities, and I'm going to show you how to pick out directories. So what we want to do is click no follow links. So straight off the bat, we have went from 1,613 down to 600 links. We then want to take a look at websites that have a DR range of, let's say, do you know what? There's some really good DR91, so we'll keep the high end, but we'll go from a DR20, DR20 to 91. And as you can see, we're down to 181. So we've got like some accountingweb.co.uk. So this is an accountancy based site. We've got Thompson Local, which is another, seems to be down at the minute actually. It's a weird one. Thompson.local is another directory style website. We've got Accounting Web as well. We have got Xlinko. So some of these, you see how they've got 0 traffic. These would be the sites that I would not be taken into consideration. So we're going to do from traffic of at least 100. Then we're going to, or actually, do you know what? We could probably go a little bit higher. Just trying to see. So 349, this is a UK based directory style site. So these would be probably the 100 sites that I would be getting my website actually listed on. And again, a lot of these are directory style websites, like for example, UK accounting firm that I clicked on before. If we click onto one of these, as you can see, Stanley Accountancy Limited, this is a directory. We should be listed on this website. As an absolute bare minimum, when it comes to like link building, I would say get like, as an absolute bare minimum, 30 of these directories. Now, this does depend on the industry that you're in. If you are in a pretty hard industry to rank for, you might need more. But typically speaking, I always get 100, but in some cases, 100 might be a little bit overkill. So as an absolute flat line, go with minimum of 30 of these links. And it's just good to get some of these links. So if we were to take a look at, let's say, yell.com, right? This is like their actual directory page. As you can see here, we've got opening hours, we've got show number, we've got website, we've got business bio, we've got some photos of their logo, services that they actually offer, and some similar businesses as well. Right, so I recommend you guys pausing the video here. So this is what I would be doing. Day 1 to 2, build out the core trust pages. So this would be like your home page, for example. This would be your about page, meet the team page, the stuff that we were talking about earlier in the video at the very, very start. Next, what we would want to do is build or refine the service and location pages. So some of you guys might have some service pages. Some of you guys might have some location pages. If not, this is where I would clearly map out these services that I want to go after and obviously list them in your actual nav bar, and also the locations as well. So whether it's a 10-mile radius, whether you've got dedicated offices, etc. Then what we would want to do is obviously the internal linking and set up Google Search Console. This probably should only take you maybe a few hours. Then we want to obviously create social profiles. So one thing that I actually probably didn't mention enough on is creating like your LinkedIn, your Twitter, your Facebook, etc. That's like one of the early stages when it comes to link building. Then we want to obviously create a list of citations. So you can obviously use a tool like Ahrefs, figure out which citations your competitors have and get those. Or you can alternatively look at their website, looking at their brand, and then clicking on the 3 dots and seeing the see more. Or you can obviously take a look at the location or industry specific directory sites and get yourself a website listed on those. Then day number 6, and this is going to be purely down to your website. So there's not like a one size fits all with publishing the actual content, right? So once you've published the service pages, once you've published the location pages as well, you also want to try and find some blog content as well. Now, this is one of the services that this accountancy firm actually offers. This is capital gains tax. Now, you can go down the questions route and try to have a blog article about all of these different questions. In some cases, you will need to combine some of these questions into one. Or you can also do the Reddit style as well. So you do reddit.com and then your keyword, and you can find blog articles this way. This is the free way. So for example, when do I need to pay capital gains tax? And again, if we were to just Google this, there's going to be a lot of accountancy firms that are actually asking or answering this as well. So you've got capital gains tax explained. And again, this is an accountancy firm. So you can go down that route as well. Now, what I would do is, let's say you've got 4 services. So you've got, let's say, corporation tax, you've got VAT returns, you've got trust planning and EIS accountants. I would try to find anything from 5 to 10 blog articles for each of these services. So as an absolute minimum, you would have, let's say, 20 blog articles as supporting pages for each service page. So this is what it would basically look like. So you've got the service page here, which is to do with VAT returns. So this is our VAT returns page, but we will also have blog content. So these would be dedicated blog articles answering people's questions to do with what records do you need to keep for VAT, common VAT return mistakes and how to avoid them, how much tax digital affects VAT, flat rate VAT versus standard rate VAT, and how to handle VAT inspection. Then we've got blog articles related to corporation tax. So this would be our service page up here. And we would then have blog content to do with what actually goes into CT 600, corporation tax deadlines you should never miss, how to reduce corporation tax legally, director salaries versus dividends, how losses work for corporation tax. Now, again, I've just given 5 examples there. If it is a harder to rank for keyword, like for example, VAT returns, this might need, let's say, 15 different supporting blog articles. It might need a little bit more, it might need a little bit less. This totally comes down to how difficult it is to rank for VAT return accountants. As an absolute base layer on day 6, I would try to have as a minimum 5 supporting articles for each individual service page. Day number 7, that's when I would submit everything to Google for indexing. So that has been my 7-day SEO crash course. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like. If you haven't already, check out myseo.app. The link will be in the description. Or if you want to work with me, head over to kasra.com, fill in the contact form, and I will be in touch. Thanks for watching.